Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to talk about Spec Ops The Line's removal on Steam. It looks like my fears have in fact been confirmed as to why this game was removed. I'm really upset about the removal of this game. I already own the game and it's still going to be downloadable for me. If you guys have the game in your library, it's going to be downloadable to you as well. But in cases like this, first of all, it always sucks seeing a game get pulled, and now Spec Ops The Line, one of the most captivating games really of the last 15 years. I know that it had its issues and whatnot, but it's just gone from the Steam store to play. If you want to play it, obviously you can sail the high seas. Obviously, if you have a 360 or PS3, you can get a physical copy, but who is trying to dig out their PS3 or 360 in the year of 2024? But let's talk the news. Coming from Stephen Totilo, new Spec Ops The Line to be delisted entirely from online gaming stores, not just Steam. A 2K rep tells me Spec Ops The Line will no longer be available on online storefronts as several partnership licenses related to the game are expiring. Players who have purchased the game can still download and play the game uninterrupted. 2K would like to thank our community of players who have supported the game, and we look forward to bringing you more offerings from our label throughout the year and beyond. See, the issue with this is not the game being removed. That's just a reality of licensing, and, having licensed content in a video game, and eventually those licenses expire, and then you have to pull the game. The way this has been handled is just absolutely terrible. First of all, based on the statement from 2K, it says several partnership licenses related to the game are expiring, meaning they haven't expired yet. At least that's how I am choosing to interpret this based on the 2K rep statement. So the fact is, based on that statement, the game can still be sold on these digital storefronts. The game has been pulled with no warning, so if anybody wanted to buy the game, oh, you are out of luck. I get it that it was offered on Fanatical and GOG for a little bit and whatnot, but still, that's not enough of a heads up. When we've had games pulled in the past, you would get weeks or even months of a notice before the game would get pulled. That should be the standard. I don't know if this is a case of the Spec Ops The Line, licensing expiring because 2K doesn't care. It just crept up on them and they just decided to pull the game. But come on, it was a relatively notable game from 2012. It's not like this was Madden 2K18. 2K doesn't even do Madden, but you get the idea. It wasn't like this was Madden 18 or whatever. And those games, I still believe, should have a notice. And, that's for every game. I think it would do the publisher a lot of good to just give a notice, discount the game, do the player a solid. I saw, when Alan Wake 1 was getting pulled for a little bit because that game had licensed content, obviously it ultimately came back, but they ended up discounting the game by like 90%. 2K can generate some revenue. I know to 2K, revenue generated from Spec Ops The Line is a drop in the bucket. I know that, they're focused on things, like microtransactions and deluxe editions. That's really gonna sell them. That's really gonna make them a lot of money and all that good stuff. But, get some goodwill, discount the game by 75% even. I think the MSRP or the regular price is like $30. It would be $7.49. You'd probably sell quite a few copies of it. And hell, you want to get even more goodwill? Just donate that to charity or something. You don't need that money like Spec Ops The Line sales copies. Like, come on now. But in reality, it's just a bummer because the game is so captivating from a narrative standpoint. A lot of games, I'm not going to say Spec Ops The Line is one of a kind because there are games that try to tell thought-provoking narratives, but Spec Ops The Line was one of them, and contextualized in a third-person shooter. In the era that it released, shooters were very much more so like, I had a buddy that would always call them bro shooters, and that was exactly the case. Like, you would get the bros on, and you would go online, and you would play your bro shooters. Gears of War, I felt like, was really synonymous with the idea of being a bro shooter, and even Killzone was a bro shooter. Like, Spec Ops The Line, yes, it did have a multiplayer component, but I think most people were very engrossed into the campaign where it really showcased like the horrors of war, and I think games that can do that, definitely they'll be interesting. Obviously, it's not a game for everybody, and I played that game when I was 15, 16 years old, and I don't think even when I initially played the game, I could fully grasp like how captivating the game really was. I think I fully grasped that after I replayed the game like a couple of years later. So yeah, I really enjoyed the game. Obviously, the issue with the game when it came out in 2012 was that it didn't have a lot of focus in its multiplayer component, and it was legit like a 6-hour game. Like, yo, that's gonna be a problem, and there's been games in the past that's been a problem where, take the multiplayer out, the single-player campaign is the highlight of the game, and it's a $60 release, it's 6 hours long. That's always going to be an issue. I look at a game like The Order 1886. By the way, that would be a great game to port to PC, just like, it would be so random, but like, I digress. But that's another game that, it had some cool things to it, but the length of the game, the brevity of it, so to speak, really did hurt it. Vanquish is another one. Vanquish was a great game. Obviously, these games are totally different than Spec Ops, but in the case of it being $60 versus the length of the game, 40 to 50 hours. That'd be great if Vanquish is 40 to 50 hours, 4 to 5 hours. That is always going to be an issue. Nonetheless, in the case of Spec Ops, it was kind of a standalone release. We never got a sequel to it. Jaeger Development, the studio behind it, they actually did the free-to-play title after Spec Ops line, Dreadnought, and, free-to-play titles are what they are, but in this case, like, all of that is moot. It's just, like, looking back at the game a little bit, but, again, I just think it was so poorly handled by 2K in totality. Like, majority of publishers do give you a little bit of a heads up before a game is pulled, and I try to, do videos pretty regularly on games getting pulled and giving you guys a heads up, but this is one that not only is it whack, it's not like the wackest thing a game publisher has done. Like, let's be real, game publishers do be doing some wild things these days, but it is just whack to the audience that would be like, hey, that's a game that I would like to get, because guess what, a lot of you guys have a PC, maybe you played Spec Ops on the PlayStation 3 360, maybe you had heard about the game through the grapevine, but you never decided to pick it up. Like, it was going on sale for $7.49, and I feel like $7.49 is still at a price point where some people are gonna be like, nah, I don't need to get it. I know Humble did give it out for free, but yeah, it is what it is. These things happen, and I'm still very much upset that I don't have a copy of Transformers Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron on PC. Those are the games missing from my library that, as far as games that used to be on Steam, that I'm kind of depressed about, since I loved War for Cybertron, played it on the PS3. But yeah, this would be one that I would be very upset about in 10 years if I didn't have it in my library as well. But, these things happen, as I say. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Just a bummer. I had thought maybe it was an error, maybe XYZ happened, but, in reality, the licensing issue was the most obvious conclusion that people were drawing. You would just hope that there would be a little bit of a heads up. Nonetheless, again, that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.